Republicans in Congress have any questions, apparently. Anyway, he'll board it and make his way to the NATO summit in Turkey. The agenda is clear. Today, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Ukraine desperately needs more missiles to defend itself for its Patriot systems after Russia evaded Ukraine's air defenses last night and pounded the Ukrainian capital with ballistic missiles, killing at least 21 people, including an entire family found dead, buried under rubble. CNN's Kristen Holmes is in Turkey's capital for us. And Kristen, Trump and Russian leader Vladimir
Turkey's the
Putin
table again. Turkey's the
4th of
motherfucking
July.
table again. Turkey is the table again. It's at the table. It is the table. Pakistan's in the bottom, but also remember that. Remember that. Turkey is the table.
What exactly President Trump would
Turkey defeated America in the World Cup. Never forget.
Meeting that he's having with Zelensky. Now, here's how President Trump described at least part of the call.
I think we're getting much closer than people realize, and President Putin wants it to end. I will tell you that very strongly. What a good call. And President Zelensky actually wants it to end now. And we're going to be going to NATO, and we're going to be talking about it. And I think we're going to get it. I think we're going to get it ended.
Now, this is something President Trump has been saying for some time. We talked to White House officials who said he understands the urgency. He wants to get this done. But again, I can't get any understanding as to what, if anything, President Trump would actually agree to in terms of aiding Ukraine. We know that's what these European countries are going to be pushing for during the summit.
Yeah, and we should note that President Trump said he was going to end the Russia-Ukraine war on day one of his presidency, which is 532 days ago. So everything is on schedule except 532 days late. This summit has the potential to be rather explosive, though. Kristen, tell us why.
Yeah, I mean, Jake, President Trump said he doesn't even want to go. The only reason he's actually coming is because it's being hosted by Turkish President Erdogan, and he considers him a friend. I was told that it was implied to his team by many different officials that it would be considered rude or inappropriate for him not to come. It would be kind of a shun to President Erdogan at a time when many believe that there is a good relationship between Turkey and the United States. But it's not just that. There are so many other reasons. President Trump has continued in private to angrily blast NATO, and publicly we've seen it spill out, saying they weren't there to help the United States during the war with Iran, which of course is still ongoing, but there is a ceasefire. The European leaders have pushed back, saying they weren't given any heads up that there was a war even happening. And then, of course, there is the Giorgia Meloni of it all. The
Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu asked President Trump not to approve the sale of advanced weapon systems to Turkey that would upgrade the Turkish Air Force, according to Axios.
She denied that, and then he doubled down over the weekend, saying maybe he needed a restraining order against her. Obviously, another recipe for some.
This is a very important summit.
All right.
Jokes aside, like, not because Turkey's at the table, but it's a very important summit because, like, right now, Ukraine is fucking pummeling Russian oil refineries, pummeling Crimea, and Russia has obviously made gains, but their territorial gains have basically stopped at this point. Okay, and this is an opportunity for leverage for Ukraine, where this NATO summit, I just have no confidence in Trump. I was about to say this NATO summit, if there is like any opportunity for diplomacy, this NATO summit, given the leverage that Ukraine has currently, could be a unique moment to do that. The issue is fucking Donald Trump is the worst mediator. Like, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but he's even worse than fucking Biden somehow. So I have no confidence in the Trump administration, and it would be a genuine shock if he is the guy that could now take advantage of, if he's the guy who could now take advantage of the fact that, like, Ukraine does have leverage, so you can bring Russia to the table to come to a manageable conclusion here, one that is devoid of some of the ridiculous red lines that were on the Russian front, on the Russian side, like demands for territory that they had yet to acquire militarily, no standing military for Ukraine. Like, these are all ridiculous demands that Russia was making, and it felt as though it always felt as though, like, Russia was just simply playing along with the notion of a ceasefire, a long-standing ceasefire, in an effort to continue making additional territorial acquisitions. So who knows? Obviously, the process of Ukraine hitting oil refineries in Russia, Russia has been aggressively pummeling and punishing the civilian population of Ukraine, hitting numerous civilian areas in Ukraine, Israel style, let's be real, directly engaging in war crimes.
Did threaten multiple times just this calendar year, earlier in the year, to invade Greenland, a NATO ally. Greenland's the territory of the Kingdom of Denmark. And President Trump has also repeatedly questioned whether Canada should be a sovereign country. So you can imagine what this has done to the bonds of trust. And Jake, that's what
there's
NATO's
also
really
this
all
too,
about.
obviously.
I was there on 9/11.
The U.S. shot its Patriot PAC-3 WAD for Israel. That stockpile won't be replenished anytime soon. Ukraine knew that, but they're betting that their long-range strike campaign will hurt Russia more than Russia's unimpeded missile strikes will hurt Ukraine. That's what's going on right now. Because, like, the Ukrainian Air Force confirms that not a single Iskander-M ballistic missile or Zircon hypersonic cruise missile was shot down during last night's attack. This is likely due to the depleted Patriot interceptor stockpiles. Is cooked. America fucking at the behest of Israel, which is something that I've talked about already, right? Remember when I said their defensive capabilities have withered away because they blew it for Israel? And the same with even their offensive standoff munitions, right? America's offensive standoff munitions, Tomahawk missiles and the like, were depleted. Those munitions were created. Those munitions were stockpiled specifically for peer and near-peer adversaries like Russia and China. Okay? Hitting energy infrastructure is literally a war crime. Strange, not when it's Russia. I mean, fuck Putin, but no, I didn't say that it's not. What are you talking about? Yes. One side is trying to gain leverage over the invading party by attacking critical infrastructure. Yes. And it's succeeding. As far as gaining leverage, Ukraine has succeeded. It's like if both parties are engaging in war crimes, you have to look at who the offending party is. The offending party is not Ukraine. I'm sorry. That's fucking ridiculous. The offending party here is Russia. Russia invaded Ukraine. Why did you keep saying rat fuck? Did you learn that word from Jennifer and now you just love using it? Now you just love it or what? You think I learned? Most likely. It's so aggravating. Not everything is a rat fuck. Jesus Fitzgerald Christ. You think I learned as a political commentator a term that has been utilized in politics since the Nixon era from someone else? Is that what you... Also, I didn't even say that this Graham Plattner story was a rat fucking operation. I just never heard you say it, and I've been watching for 2 years until she said it. Perhaps in the last 2 years that you started watching me, do you feel like maybe there is actually an active political campaign taking place because it's the midterms? And usually you engage in rat fucking when there's an active contest? Perhaps that's the reason why, as someone who's been watching for the past 2 years now, you're hearing it for the first time ever, considering that I would not deploy this terminology when there is not a political contest taking place. Do you think maybe that's the reason why? Because that's where the term comes from? Stupidest discourse on your stream to date? Yes. Yes, of course I've used the term rat fuck when I discussed Bernie Sanders in 2020, which was 6 years ago.